jump on board. Coming up next on CHGO Cubs, presented by Toyota and Bet365. The Cubs are for real, and so is PCA. A series sweep of the Dodgers, back-to-back one-run games. We're going to have some speaks about the Cubs next. Load up the beer bat. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? This is the CHGO Cubs podcast presented by Toyota. Let's go places and Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Use the code CHGO365 at sign up. Hello and welcome to the show. Luke Stuckmeyer, Cody Delmendo. Cubs win 7-6 at Wrigley Field. They sweep the two-game set against the mighty Dodgers. They take the season series against the Dodgers 4-3. Kevin Wells running the ones and twos for us today. Hello to everybody in the live YouTube chat. Best way to enjoy our experience is to subscribe to the CHGO Cubs YouTube channel, which is brand new out there. Make sure you do it so you can get in that chat and be part of the show. We're going to have a good time tonight. Cody's going to do his beer bat chug, which comes after every Cubs win here on CHGO. He's already got the beer warming up. Likes to warm it just a little bit. We'll see if he can get a quality. Only one time this year has it not been a quality chug. And let me tell you, this Cubs team, Cody, I think they might be for real. I'm turning the reality spray.
Can I spray you?
No, because, again, I have an old computer, and I'm not sure it'll work. For tonight, I'm turning the reality spray into Selly spray.
Selly spray.
Selly spray.
Let's go. Let's go. Here, just hit me with it a little bit.
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Lube you up a little bit for that. The beer bat chug.
Oh, my God.
Good thing I didn't put vodka in there. That would have burned.
Yeah, thank you for not doing that. Yeah.
What a team.
Game,
our first segment is What's Brewing, brought to you by the new Sam Adams American Light. Cold, crisp, and refreshing. Game day just got better. Let me tell you what really got better about game day, Cody. Pete Crow-Armstrong. Get on board.
Get on board if you're not.
Get on board. The kid can play.
This guy. PCA. I don't even know where to start, Luke. I guess we start with PCA. I want to go to Porter Hodge, but there's so much.
No, we're starting offense. The offense has been it's the best offense in baseball. They're averaging more than 6 runs a game, and tonight again, 7 runs against the Dodgers.
PCA, man. He had 3 stolen bases in this game.
Did he have 3 or 2?
He had 3, I think. And then he obviously had the home run to give them the lead that they had for a half inning.
In the 2 games, Cody, 7 RBI, 6 hits, 2 homers, the stolen bases, and 3 runs scored. Man. That's in 2 nights
PCA.
Against the Dodgers. They couldn't control him.
You couldn't contain him.
Dave Roberts said before the game, they don't know what to do with him.
He's 23, Luke.
His kid is friends with PCA. Said, yeah, he owes me a bottle of wine or something after this series.
Yeah. Dude, PCA is just, he is everything that right now at least, he is everything that I've ever dreamed of.
The baseball IQ just jumps off the page with him, too.
What's more impressive? The power, the fact that he robbed Tommy Edman in the most nonchalant way in a big moment, the inning that Daniel Palencia was in. If you're a casual and you were watching and you saw PCA catch the final out of that inning when Palencia was in, you probably didn't think anything of it. You go to Baseball Savant, Tommy Edman hit that ball over 100 miles per hour and it had a 910 expected batting average, and PCA didn't even have to dive for it. He was just there because he's so fast, and his quick thinking of just knowing where to go. Like, that's what puts him above so many other outfielders on the defensive side. And then just every ball he's hitting right now is on a line. And it's starting to look like it. Like he's hit a few homers with the ball at the top of the zone.
Yeah.
But I think he really likes it at the bottom part of the zone. And because that's where I feel like he's gotten most of his hits through his short career that we've seen. But you're starting to see him do it all over the zone. It's not just one part of the zone that he really likes. At least that's what it feels like right now. But he just, if you were to put together a highlight reel to describe Pete Crow-Armstrong, it was this game. He did everything in this game. He was perfect.
He really did.
He was absolutely perfect. You could not have put together a more perfect game. I don't even think he made an out. He was on base every time.
Cody, the Cubs used to be boring.
I know.
They are not boring anymore. This guy is electricity.
Yes.
Tucker is great. This kid is electricity. 12 of his last 18 hits are extra base hits, including 5 home runs. What?
Yeah.
4 of his 5 home runs this year are against the Dodgers. Against the Dodgers.
Just look at some of the pitchers he's hit those off
insane.
of, too.
By the way, if you haven't heard it, listen to Waddle and Sylvie's interview with Mark DeRosa the other day talking about PCA, and he's like, I went to camp and I thought, I want to see what this kid really, because he's like, you hear then kind of see the cockiness, and I'm thinking I'm not going to like the kid, and how would I have approached him as a veteran on this team? Mm-hmm. He's like, and all of a sudden I fell in love with him. Mm-hmm. I loved everything. He's a grinder. He wants to be great. D-Row was gushing about PCA.
Did you see you must have not seen his segment on PCA on MLB Network this morning, then.
Must have turned it right into that.
Because it was like 5 minutes.
A love fest.
It was 5 minutes of D-Row just going about.
Love fest.
Yes. He was buying all the stock on PCA this morning on MLB Network. My entire 4U
Who's not
side,
right now? Who's not buying it?
Right.
No wonder he turned down $70 million.
It's literally since the moment that story came out.
Yeah.
Since Mark Feinstein sent that tweet out.
You're right, it is.
Since he sent that tweet out, PCA has gone off. And when he sent that tweet off, there are so many people who are like, oh, PCA's dumb for not taking that deal. This guy's hitting like 200 right now. And he said, hold my beer, brother. Let's go, dude. Of course I would have liked him to take the contract extension. But, man, this guy is better than $75 million for however many years. And I've always believed that. We just needed to see it. We needed to see him get the at-bats, needed to see him go through the ups and downs, needed to see him, get the seasoning that young players need. This is the fun part of baseball when it comes to your own homegrown players. We've watched PCA since the day they traded Javi Baez for him, not since then because he didn't play the rest of that season, but since 2022 when this show started, PCA came on the scene in the minors. And we've watched him go through the minors all the way up to this point now. That's what makes it fun about watching your own homegrown guys come up and make a major impact. We haven't got to do that in a long time since the core that won the World Series. And it's so fun to see his development and his growth as a player. It's right now.
He's speechless.
I am speechless.
Where's the spray?
I am speechless.
And for
I'm so speechless about what PCA is giving us, dude. Because it's more than I ever expected this early.
Toyota Super Chat from Jacob. Something to keep in mind for a particular fall month. Craig Counsell is 8-5 against the Dodgers as a manager of the Cubs. 8-3 on American soil. You know what?
It's a great point.
You know what's also great about the PCA thing? Isn't it sort of poetic that Javi Baez brought this player to the Cubs?
Yeah.
Because the last player that brought this sort of excitement on the base paths and sometimes in the field, the last time there was a player when he was at his peak that gave you this kind of vibe and excitement is no question Javi, with the crazy base running and the tags and all that stuff. PCA just does some of the other things, and hopefully his path will be different overall than Javi's was.
Yeah.
But there's something poetic about that was the end of Javi as a Cub, and it's given us PCA, the next generation. It's like Javi 2.0.
Yeah.
Javi at his peak 2.0. 2 more super chats, a $20 super chat. A Toyota Super Chat from Kyle Gibson. PCA's a superstar. This team is different this year. They've got no quit attitude, taking the Dodgers game and shoving it back in their face. Relentless scoring. Go Cubs, go. Thank you, Kyle. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Kyle.
Jake Flanagan.
Well, I think I know that guy.
I think I know him.
I think I know him too.
Toyota Super Chat. PCA will be a Cubs legend.
We're going to build the statue one day.
Build the statue.
The thing you were saying, Cody, about having him through his prime, and of course we wanted him to take the contract, but he hasn't even hit his arbitration years yet. He's 2 more years of pre-arbitration and then 3 years of arbitration. He's under club control through the prime of his career now.
Did you hear the pregame quote from Craig Counsell when he was talking about game 1 of this series? And he was like, that was a Tuesday in April. And he was describing the crowd and how electric it was at Wrigley Field. Well, part of that is this fan base has been waiting to explode. We've been waiting to explode for like 3.5, 4, 5 years now. And this team is giving fans something to be excited about. And his last part of that message was, that is what being a Cub has to offer and what being a Cub and Wrigley Field has to offer. And connect the dots, folks. That is a direct message to one Kyle Tucker and one Pete Crow-Armstrong. Just trying to remind those guys when they hear that, hey, feels pretty good to be a Cub when they're winning. This is pretty fun. You don't get this in April anywhere else in baseball. That does not exist. What you saw the last 2 nights does not exist anywhere else in Major League Baseball.
Yeah. Yeah, the atmosphere of the last 2 nights at Wrigley. Yeah, I love a good day game, right? I love going to Friday day games, but a night game at Wrigley, whether it's on the weekend or, on a Tuesday or Wednesday night like this week, it can hit different too. So yeah, no, those guys are experienced. PCA knows this. He experienced a lot of ups. There were a lot of downs from last year, but he was a part of a lot of ups too, especially when he started hitting in August. So
he's not gonna forget these games against the Dodgers, though.
Oh yeah,
he's an LA kid.
Yeah,
he's not gonna forget those two home runs at Dodger Stadium with his parents there, and he's not gonna forget the 2 that he just hit here. Kevin, we have 2 more of the Toyota Super Chats.
Got a handful more actually.
Awesome. Thank you for all the Super Chats, guys.
Yeah, we got Hawkeye in here. He's the first one up.
Okay.
Oh, rest in peace to Mongo. Yeah,
rest in peace to Mongo. Yep.
That's why I said we're going to have some speaks.
Well, he wants you to dedicate the beer bat to him tonight, Cody. Too.
Okay.
So PCA is a lightning rod. Go Cubs, go. Bears Forever 14 with a $10 super chat. What a better way to ring in the 2025 NFL Draft than a Cubs sweep of the Dodgers and a day off after. Heck, the Dodgers fly the W. Go Cubs, go. Bear down. Chicago sports are back. Now that guy might need some reality.
Yeah, we still got the reality spray. Let's hold on. The draft's not over. But the Toyota Super Chats are just screaming in. Jacob with another one. Resilience of this Cubs team is exactly what made me pull my hair out when we played the Brewers for years. We're finally a council ball club.
Oh, don't let the council haters
oh my God, I'm going to agree with Jacob on that. And I'll tell you, both of his super chats, actually, council knows how to manage a game. He gives you that comfort factor. He wins these 1-run games. I'm with you, Jacob.
There's so much to talk from this game, but last year I feel like they would have lost this game late because they were unable to get those runners in the 8th inning and the 7th and 8th inning.
Yeah.
But then they came out and Porter Hodge shoved it in the 9th, struck out Ohtani in like disgusting fashion, and like it was like, oh, it didn't matter.
They owned Ohtani.
We're gonna shut it down. Like the bullpen shut it down.
Ever since he hit that cheap home run off the Toyota Dome's ceiling.
The Tokyo Dome.
Tokyo Dome.
Not Toyota.
No, sorry, Toyota. I apologize. But after he hit it off the ceiling, it's been all downhill against the Cubs.
Yeah.
He's had 3 hits since then, I think. It was great. By the way, 5 stolen bases in this game. PCA with 2 more. But I think that was 9 stolen bases in the 2 games.
Yeah. I think
something like that. 5
right.
tonight. And they are doing all the things. And that's why they're scoring lots of runs. We're going to talk more about it, including Porter Hodge being the closer. The exciting point that the Cubs are 16-10, all of that. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. New customers now get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5 win or lose. Sign up, use code CHGO365, deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. The MLB early payout offer is one of my favorite promos right now on the book. With Bet365 early payout offer, you're a winner if your team goes 5 runs ahead with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners as well. Again, just download the app and you use that code CHGO365 and you can get in on that action. They're doing it in the NBA and the NHL as well. All right. I had Michael Busch over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Kyle Tucker, total bases. That one didn't hit, surprisingly, tonight. PCA 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, hit on the homer. I had Matt Boyd over on outs recorded. I had a nice night. So again, just when you log on to Bet365, new customers, $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5 win or lose. Sign up, use code CHGO365, deposit $10 and place a bet for $5. Get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Again, and you can do them on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Summer's going to be here before you know it. Is your home's air conditioning up for the challenge? 4 Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric has been serving the Chicago area for more than 50 years. Now's the time. Don't wait. Now's the time to get your air conditioning checked out, and 4 Seasons experts are ready to help you with AC installation, maintenance, and repair. Last summer, hottest year on record. The heat index even reached 114 degrees last summer at O'Hare. You just were sweating wherever you were going. Yes. But not me when I went in my house, because 4 Seasons came over and turned up that AC for me. When it's hot and humid, you want to know that your home's going to be cool and comfortable. Just because you got to sweat out these Cubs one-run games doesn't mean you have to sweat in your house. Schedule a 4 Seasons AC tune-up today. Don't wait till it's too late. Save $50 on that tune-up and enjoy a 1-year, no-breakdown guarantee. Gotta love a guarantee like that. Your trusted local experts are 4 Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Visit 4 Seasons heatingcooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. That's 4seasonsheatingcooling.com. We've got the Beer Bat Chug coming up in a second. We do want to tell you about our new sponsored segment. It is a partnership. Our parent company, ALLCITY, has teamed up with big news, big and little news to share. ALLCITY, including us right here at CHGO, we're teaming up with Big Brothers and Big Sisters of America for an exciting 3-year partnership. It's not just about sports here. We're about building community. Together, we're combining Big Brothers, Big Sisters, incredible youth mentoring programs with passion and power of ALLCITY's local sports coverage to create something special. The partnership kicks off this week during our NFL draft coverage. It doesn't stop there. We're going to be working all year round with Big Brothers and Big Sisters through fundraising, content, events, even opportunities for our team and maybe some of you to get directly involved. Excited to support youth mentorship that really makes a difference. You can learn more and see how to get involved at bbbs.org/AllCity. Very good. Cubs win 7-6.
Yes.
Quick thing here.
Back-to-back one-run games. Yes, Kevin Wells.
Just got the news on Ryan Presley.
Why he wasn't closing.
He had his right knee drained last night.
Oh.
And Craig Counsell believes and hopes he will be available Friday for the start of a 3-game series against the Phillies. So had his knee drained. So fluid in there.
Yeah, don't something. Love that. I mean, he didn't pitch last night, obviously.
But they said that he's going to be available for Fridays.
Well, their hopes.
Their hope is.
Hope, because again, so now that's 3 nights off. Did he pitch the night before that?
He pitched on Sunday. That was the last game he pitched.
He pitched on Sunday.
He didn't pitch last night.
So he's going to have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. He's going to have at least 4 days off.
Mm-hmm. But he had it drained yesterday. So he'll have 2 days in between a potential close on Friday.
Listen, we're going to get to Porter Hodge in a second. That does explain some stuff.
Yeah.
I had another theory going into it.
Same.
But we will get to that in a second. We've got Cody's Beer Bat Chug coming. Dedication. Again, anything under 10.25 seconds is a quality Beer Bat Chug.
Yes.
And so far, only one this year has not been a quality Beer Bat Chug. And we can only give credit to Sam Adams American Light because
Absolutely.
it's not filling.
Right.
It's so light. It's so crisp. It's so cool.
Absolutely.
It goes down faster on the beer bat chug.
Okay, so the dedication, I mean, I'll do what a lot of people say in the chat. Yes, rip Mongo, Steve McMichael. Marquis tweeted they beat me to it. They tweeted the famous
Angel Hernandez.
Yeah, the Angel Hernandez video, the 7th inning stretch or whatever.
Where he came out, he was like, boo.
And booed
because
him.
they were already booing a call. And he says, don't worry, I'm going to have some speaks with that whole plate umpire. And then Angel Hernandez threw him out of the ballpark.
Such an incredible moment.
What a person Mongo was.
Yeah.
I mean, just besides the fact that he was an all-time great,
yeah,
a Hall of Famer, his personality was unmatched, a wrestler. And I just watched the clip that Jared Payton did an interview with him about 3 years ago when he just had found out about ALS. And he's like, all of the loud stuff from Mongo, right?
Mm.
And as he was speaking there, he said, the greatest part about the human being is compassion. And that's what he saw at the end from everybody that came to see him. It wasn't about him being a great athlete or type A personality or all those things. It's about when people are compassionate. He's like, and that rejuvenates your belief in mankind. Yeah. And so cheers to Mongo.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And thoughts and prayers to his family. And I'm sure even though they were expecting, still tough time. I'm sure.
All his friends and family, all of his loved ones.
So to him, and then of course we're going to give it to PCA because I mean, why else? Who else? I guess Porter Hodge is rivaling this beer bat chug. But anyway.
And you know what, Cody?
You all know
not everybody probably approves of the beer bat chug. Steve Mongo McMichael would approve of a beer bat chug.
Yes,
sure.
By God.
Let's go.
As he would say. All right.
By God.
It starts when the Sam Adams American Light hits his lips. Here we go. Cody Delmendo. And there it goes. He's underway. He's halfway through the beer bat chug. He's almost down to the barrel already. He's off to a fast start. We're at 5, 6, 7. Is he going to make it? He's going to get in under 10.25 again. Boom. I got him at 10 flat.
Yeah, I started like a second late, so about 10
You
seconds.
got him at 8.62. Either way, it's under 10.25. It's a quality beer bat chug after yet another win.
Kind of slowed up at the end, but we managed.
16-10, the Cubs. And what does that mean overall, Kevin, for the month of April?
That means they cannot finish under the record of 500 by the end of the month, the hardest month of the season.
Wow.
Which is all we asked for. Now I want them to finish multiple games over 500 for the month of April. But going into it, not knowing that Justin Steele was even going to be lost for the season, not knowing that Matt Shaw was going to have to be sent down to AAA, we said just going into Japan, just finish around 500 at the end of April. And now we know they will definitely do that. Team's off and running. Right now, they are one of the best teams in baseball. Before we get to Porter Hodge, let Matthew Boyd. Let's not overlook this. He did not have his best stuff tonight. He gave up 10 hits to the Dodgers in 6 innings. The 10 hits are not the key. The key is the 6 innings, especially now knowing that Presley was not available.
Mm-hmm. It makes more sense now why they
makes more sense that Boyd was left in there for that 6th inning. But credit to him for getting through 6 when he didn't have it.
Somehow getting that pop out of Ohtani the 4th time that he faced him, considering he had given up a couple hits. There was a couple guys on base in that scenario. I mean, giving up the homer to Hernandez after you took the lead, and you didn't have this. It wasn't a great start by any means, but I mean, it is technically a quality start. 3 earned in 6 innings.
By the letter of the law, that's a quality start.
Yeah,
and a win.
Yeah,
a win.
He got the win. Yeah, I mean,
I believe he's 2-2 on the season.
I really thought he was rolling early. When he gave up the 2 runs, I think in the 3rd, I felt like he bounced back in the 4th, and then when the Cubs got the lead after the PCA homer, he gave it back. So it was just there were some errors along the way. I think he had a throwing error himself that didn't help his cause, that led to some of those runs. So. He really gutted it out though. And honestly, like, I'm more happy that he got 6 innings because this team has been lacking deeper starts of late, right? And that was probably our biggest concern with Justin Steele being out for the year, and that's why they need to go out and eventually add a starter, whether it's a Pablo Lopez or a Sandy Alcantara at the trade deadline, or a name that none of us are even thinking about, because that's just what the Cubs do. Like they're going to need to, because they're going to need someone who can come in and give them more innings out of the starting rotation, because a lot of these guys they've been fine, but they're not going deep. They need Ben Brown to find a way to give them more innings.
But all those guys have given them something, right?
Sure, yeah. It's not like they've been bad. They're just not going
since
deep.
You've lost Steele, Ben Brown has stepped up. Colin Ray has stepped up. J-Mo has stepped up.
Yeah.
Boyd.
I'm not saying that they've been bad.
I know.
It's more of like they're not giving you enough length. They're giving you 5, sometimes 6, and it's more likely like 5 1/3 or 5 2/3 or something. And so I'm hopeful about what some of these other guys can do, but Boyd, 2.54 earned run average here in April against some of the teams he's faced. Would you have guessed that 2 months ago, Stuckmeyer?
Well, I was hopeful for it, but I didn't know.
Well, you didn't. Right? Well, no one knew, but
he was one of the.
You would have bet on it.
No, he was one of the question marks going into the season. You didn't know what you were getting out of Boyd. It was kind of like we weren't sure what to make of that signing.
Yeah,
it turned out like it could be a pretty good deal. Make sure you hit the like button for us, please, by the way, and subscribe to the new CHGO Cubs YouTube channel. What did Keegan say? Did Keegan have the PCA numbers on there in the live YouTube chat?
He did, yeah. We got a lot of comments.
I saw that comment back here. Keegan Strauch.
Right.
For anyone wondering, since PCA turned down the extension, April 12th, he's hitting .395 with an OPS of 1.331.
That's when Feinstein must have sent the tweet.
Yeah,
he's hitting 400 since he said no to a contract extension.
Well, what did Brendan and Corey say a couple weeks ago, too, on their show?
I don't listen to them. No, I'm kidding.
Sheesh.
That was for Brendan more than Corey.
The contact rate was off the charts for even though the results weren't there.
Brendan was the first one that said his hot streak is coming.
Yeah.
Credit to the pitch doctor. He knew hitting, too. He said, it's coming. I can see it. A PCA hot streak is coming.
Well, he needs to maybe speak it into existence for someone else now, too, because, we have I know a lot of people talking about third base in there, too. That's all obviously an issue. But, it's the offense in general has just been
Dansby gave you a big hit in this game.
Yeah, 2 hits tonight.
Boy, that's 2 hits, and one of them was a big hit.
Yeah.
So it wasn't perfect, but that was.
They scored 7 runs tonight, and Kyle Tucker, all he did was walk twice.
I mean,
he was robbed of a double by Freddie Freeman, but other than that,
don't make me do the math. They scored 18 runs against the Dodgers in 2 days, right?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Good. Yeah.
More of that.
Good.
Thank you. I'll have another.
Yeah.
Do the Dodgers have to leave? Can they stick around and play a few more?
Don't
while they're slightly depleted? Listen, I know the reality sprays for me, too. I don't want to get totally delusional. I know that the Dodgers have a slew of injuries right now, but they're still putting out Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Tommy Edman.
Ugh, Tommy Edman.
Right?
And
they're still putting out. Yeah, they're still putting out a pretty good lineup.
How's Andy Pages him and Tommy Edman were the biggest Cubs killers these 2 games.
Yeah, Muncy
did nothing. Yeah,
he hasn't homered yet this year.
Muncy's really struggled.
He's hitting
like
a $130 or something like that.
It was nice to see Turner get a hit today, and I think he walked. He was a part of the rally late in the middle innings.
Yeah.
All of Cubs Twitter freaking out about him hitting third. Admittedly, I didn't want him to hit third either, but he was productive tonight, and hopefully it's a start of good things for him, because they especially if Say is going to sit out a few games with this wrist thing.
Yeah.
They're going to need Turner to hit. He's got to get above the Mendoza line.
Phillies are coming up next. We're going to talk about that as we go to an ad break here. I want to ask the chat a question, and that is, who's your closer and why after tonight's game? And that includes an injury update on Presley. But first, the Chicago Cubs are heading to Milwaukee, and you could be too. Kick off your summer right here with the CHGO Cubs crew. Cody and I and Corey and Kevin, you're going too?
I can't make it.
Oh, what a
really
buzzkill.
I'm ticked. I know.
Loser.
I'm a bum. Yeah.
Loser.
I am a bum.
We're taking the party north of the border for a battle with the Brewers. It's all going down Saturday, May 3rd at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel in Milwaukee. Here's what's included. Exclusive pregame party in a private room at the casino. A live CHGO Cubs show. We're going to do pregame and postgame there. You can hang out with the crew, talk baseball, vibe out. This includes a buffet lunch and a drink ticket to get the good times rolling. Plus, if you're 21 and older, you get $100 in casino play with a Potawatomi rewards card. You can also add on to that deal, grab a game ticket, sit with us in the lower outfield, 200 level, Cubs side, of course, and you can also make it a weekend at a one-night hotel stay at Potawatomi for Saturday night. Tickets and all the info at allchgo.com/event. Tickets are going fast. I've heard that already. Don't sleep on this. Get after it. You see the vibe we have after this series? Wait till we march up to Milwaukee and take over Wrigley North, and we're sitting in first place and PCA's top 5 in WAR in all of Major League Baseball. And now we got King Tuck, and Greg Braggs, like the great Olympian he is, walks in with 2 surgically repaired knees from the last time we were there.
Mm-hmm. Barb
That's
says
crazy.
you'd pay for my ticket. I kind of want to go now. You got me? I'll go. Barb says you'd count my ticket.
Barb said I'd pay for your ticket.
Yeah.
Barb, where were you last night?
According to our events guy, Spencer, out in Denver,
It's rolling.
he says that we have, we're in double digits.
Double
for
digits
people
already.
coming
Get on board.
onto the events. So
Saturday, May 3rd.
yeah, event, what is it? allchgo.com/events.
Yes.
And go to the event calendar, scroll down to May 3rd, because it's like it's a calendar.
And while you're there, get your draft party tickets too.
Yeah. So it should be a really fun time. I'm really excited about it because the pregame party is going to be fun. You get the add-on, you get a game ticket. And if you want to stay the night, you can stay the night as well. So really excited about it. What else I'm also excited about? Circus Sportsbook. Whatever the sport, the app to bet is Circus Sports Illinois. Circus Sports, it's sports betting the way it should be. Circus Sports Illinois has high betting limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. Bet on all your favorite teams in every game this season. Spreads, props, futures, or in-game, Circus Sports has it. Fund and bet like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. We got NBA playoffs right now.
Yeah.
We got baseball. On Circa, what I like to do on Circa, because I like Bet365 for player props, but I like Circa for like spreads for games. I've been fading the White Sox for the last 2 weeks.
Nice.
Just like betting whoever's playing the White Sox. And obviously it's profitable because the White Sox have like 5 wins for the season. So, and Circa has the best odds. That's why I like going to Circa for the spreads. So, anyway, download your new bookie today at circusports.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We have another Toyota Super Chat after a 7-6 Cubs win and a sweep, 2-game sweep over the Dodgers. $4.99 from Fernando. I was there yesterday and tonight. Sweep and the DFA Workman. Go Cubs. Don't be mad at Gage Tater Workman.
Don't be mad at Gage Workman.
We'll
be
get-
mad at the Cubs front office for not fixing third base the right way.
We'll get to Tater in a second, but we're keeping the vibes positive. By the way, I don't know how many Super Chats that is tonight, but that's a lot of Super Chats.
We might be breaking a record for this.
Yeah,
year.
we got a lot.
This might be the most positive that CHGO Cubs has been since we launched 4 seasons ago.
For sure.
The Cubs made a serious statement tonight.
Yeah.
They won another one-run game against the best team in the league. I mean,
Without their closer.
people are excited.
Someone
Almost
said-
300
Or
people here.
did they have their closer?
Someone in the chat said that it's a 2-game series, so it's not considered a sweep, but you still won.
Sweep.
You still won both games. I'm
Don't
calling it a
let
sweep.
the facts get in the way of a good story. Journalism 101.
That's what I'm talking about.
And thank you to Corey B. Capitalize on this. Offense, extend Tucker, then trade for Alcantara or Casey and get Sandy and a top bullpen arm. Thank you, Corey B. Yes. Maybe down the line.
So did they have their closer? Here's what I thought going into when we saw Hodge come out. First of all, I was surprised because I didn't know that Presley had his knee drained. I didn't know that he wasn't available tonight or last night. I thought Hodge came in because it was bottom of the order, Ohtani and Betts.
Yep.
And I thought to myself, they're up by 1 run. Craig Counsell has finally realized that you need swing and miss. Now, Presley's been much better the last few times out.
It's like the last 5 outings has been awesome. Yeah.
But he still doesn't have a ton of swing and miss.
Mm-hmm.
He is giving up contact. They are making contact with the ball. And when you have a 1-run lead and you've got Ohtani and Betts and company coming up, you need swing and miss. So I thought Porter Hodge was in there because you can't afford to have the contact this inning.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out that wasn't the reason. So who is your closer? Is Porter Hodge inching closer? I mean, he's in my triangle of trust. He's in your circle of trust.
Yes.
He's in Alex Cohen's trust tree.
Porter Hodge is...
How much closer is he getting to where you want to say, let's flip that and have Hodge be the closer?
Well, I said in the offseason, I said beginning of the year when everyone was complaining about the bullpen, which honestly, when I say beginning of the year, people were complaining about the bullpen 3 days ago. So last night, people were probably complaining about the bullpen. So
yes,
I've always said though that Porter Hodge being the closer for next year, this is like the year you prepare him to be the closer for 2026. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't get opportunities to close games this year, or maybe doesn't just take the job as the season goes along. Because one of my bold predictions this year was that he was going to save 20 games, 19 more to go.
19 to go.
So, now, if the Presley knee thing or whatever is more serious, then he's going to get more opportunities anyway. Maybe he just stealed the job because he was awesome in the ninth inning today. I think most fans are ready for Hodge to be the guy now, because even though Presley has been solid his last 4 or 5 outings, you are correct. Hodge is going to get more swing and miss, and he has more electric stuff. He throws harder, all these things, right? Presley
has been there and done that.
He's been there and done that. He's got the experience. So you can make arguments on both sides, but I think if this team's playing in October, I want Porter Hodge closing it out in the 9th inning. But I think he's got to get more seasoning. He's got to have more experience. He's got to go through more high-leverage moments to really earn that spot. But it's not like there's anyone really blocking him from taking it either. And that's more on the Cubs front office and related to the bullpen and stuff like that. But I was really surprised to see Porter Hodge in the 9th inning until Kevin told us about the Presley thing.
The reason why.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. And maybe, not yet for me, my triangle of trust, Daniel Palencia is slowly swimming his way towards the triangle of trust.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if
he's not quite there, but he's right on the outside looking in.
Palencia struck out Teoscar Hernandez. Like, it was nasty the way he got him. Edman was a little bit was tough for him, and PCA really saved him. I mentioned the first segment we were just gushing about PCA and all the things that he does. But, yeah, I mean, Palencia has all the stuff in the world to really kind of push himself into one of those high-leverage spots. But it's Palencia, but Merriweather was awesome tonight, too, in the 8th inning. He came out there and just shoved it. There was no problems with Merriweather tonight. 1, 2, 3 in the 8th inning.
Triangle of trust.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question, right? Like, Porter Hodge is your best reliever by a lot, and I think Merriweather's right behind him, and then Brad Keller is that, and
then maybe Presley.
Hopefully you hit on this lefty trade. Hopefully Pomeranz is the lefty answer, because right now you got 2 really stout righties who throw hard and get swing and miss.
Even Thielbar has been a lot better since the Dodgers series in LA. Because he got the save in extra innings after he got that save in extra innings against the Dodgers.
Still on the border of that triangle of trust. Yeah, Pomeranz, the moves before the game, Pomeranz and Nicky Lopez called it home, given a major league deal. So that's part of the answer at third. Our Jared Willis tweeted out today, the Cubs signed Nicky Lopez to a 1-year major league contract and selected the contract of left-handed pitcher Drew Pomeranz. In corresponding moves, Gavin Hollowell, who pitched 2 innings last night, optioned to AAA. Justin Steele transferred to the 60-day, and Gage Workman DFA'd. If you didn't see it, Steele's wife TikToked a video of him watching that comeback last night, and you feel for him, and you know he's going through it. Stuff we talked about with Ben Zobrist, which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, go check it out on the CHGO Cubs YouTube channel. We talked to Ben Zobrist for about 45 minutes the other day,
and we put up another video on the channel today, like a little, like it's like 10 minutes from that conversation too. So if you
check it out. We got good stuff there.
That video just makes you emotional, man. He really, I don't know.
Tough.
It's tough to see. It is tough
from
to see.
From a human standpoint, you watch it and you're like, dang, you just feel bad for the guy. The guy gave everything he did. He gave everything he could to the Cubs these last handful of years.
He wants to be in that dugout so bad. Everybody does when you win games like you did last night, you know. So
I tweeted today, or I tweeted from the CHGO Cubs account today when I saw the video, or when I tweeted the video, is that once he's able to get back in the dugout, they need to do like daily hits with him on the broadcast during games. Like, you know how they
bring him up to the broadcast.
Yeah, why not? He's a guy who, like, you know, he used to do podcasts, and
if he wasn't like a couple days away from being removed from surgery, I'd say CHGO Bears ought to have him on, because the guy knows his football too.
He loves football. Yeah, the Saints sent him
that's therapy right there.
The Saints sent him some stuff.
Did
apparently. They? Yeah. He's a big Saints fan, so that's why I'm
gonna have to convert him now.
But yeah, no, it would be cool, like, once he's able to go hang out in the dugout for home games or whatever. Yeah. If they just did like a hit, I won't expect daily hits, but if they did a hit with him like once a week, to maybe talk about the rehab process, and then just, you know, we'll see what he's up to, who's impressing him and stuff. Like, I just think that would be, not only would it be good for him, but I think it's good for the fans too, to just kind of, you know, stay up to date with him and stuff. He's one of the few players on the team that, like, kind of puts himself out there on social media, and a lot of people know what kind of guy he is. The guy
was in our chat the one time.
When we graded him.
Yeah.
The guy loves football. He loves fantasy football. He loves baseball cards. The video his wife posted of him getting some rare Justin Herbert football card a couple weeks ago. He was hot. As high on life as I've ever seen him on any video of him at Wrigley Field. The guy, you know, he puts a lot of his personality out there, and you don't see that from a lot of players. Like, we were talking about Kyle Tucker last night and how he doesn't show a lot of emotion. We don't really know a ton about him. And Justin Steele's kind of the opposite in terms of, like, we kind of know a lot about him at this point as fans. And so, yeah, I think it'd be cool if they brought him on the broadcast a couple times, you know, once he's able to get back in the dugout and be with the team.
Well, answering the question at third base for me is probably question number one. Figuring out the bullpen is question number two, because now we're thinking ahead. Now we're thinking we might have a playoff team. So now you're thinking, well, I'm not worried about April. Now I'm worried about September, October. And the third question will be, how do you replace Justin Steele at the end for this season? We got another Toyota Super Chat. Mad Mike says, who would you trade for right now for a third baseman, and trade both Pablo Lopez and Sandy Alcantara?
Who would we trade for both Pablo Lopez and Sandy Alcantara?
I don't think you're getting both of those guys.
I think you can get one, but okay. Let's start with third base real quick. Do we have to go to a break, or should?
We're like a minute.
You got a minute and a half.
Okay.
You got time.
Third baseman, a few names. For one name that I've thought about, and I've thought about this guy for a handful of years just because he's been on a bad team, but Ryan McMahon from the Rockies. He's a solid defensive player from my understanding.
I like that pull.
And I don't think he's going to cost you a ton because he's already on like it's not like a bad contract, but he's not expensive, but he's also not like elite, but he's not bad. I think he's above average third baseman that can give you stability, maybe more than above average. You know, maybe I'm not giving him enough credit. I haven't even looked at his numbers this year, but he is a guy that I've kind of looked at and followed from the Rockies these last couple of years because the Cubs need a third baseman.
I'd like to see Arenado have a good season and the Cardinals be terrible.
You think the Cardinals are really would consider trading Arenado to the Cubs in a fair trade?
They tried everything they could to trade him in the offseason.
But they still didn't trade him, so I don't know if that means that they did.
I think they did.
I think
they did. I think too many teams were like, not right now. Thanks.
They had that trade with
We're going to see how he plays.
They had that trade with the Astros, and then the Astros signed Christian Walker, and that ruined everything. Because I think Arenado didn't want to go to Houston.
As far as the pitching thing goes, I would love Alcantara, and I would love Cade Horton, who we were going to talk about in the next segment, who, by the way, has been lighting it up at AAA. So that's just something to think about.
Yeah.
More on that in a second. But first, just like your favorite team needs a home court or home field or home ice advantage, your home needs a home floor advantage, and Empire Today can help you get it. Empire Today has flooring experts, dedicated flooring professionals who focus on flooring every single day. We've all been to those big box stores. You walk around staring at the aisles. You don't know where you're at. You feel like you're lost. And the person that's helping you with flooring might have been selling sinks yesterday and could be stocking light bulbs tomorrow. Empire Today lives and breathes flooring. That's all they do. They're flooring experts. Bring the showroom right to your home. Get precise measurements taken and have all your questions answered so there are no surprises. With Empire Today, you get clear, upfront, and all-inclusive pricing. Plus, you can schedule installation as soon as the next day. Schedule a free in-home estimate today because some things are just better at home. CHGO listeners can get a $350 discount. You heard me right. You heard me right. $350 off. All you have to do is use the code CHGO. Restrictions apply. Visit EmpireToday/CHGO for full details.
Game Time makes getting tickets even faster and easier, Luke. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch, kickoff, tip-off, or any event that you're going to that's not sports, all right? With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets, all right? It's the official ticketing partner of the CHGO Cubs podcast, all right? I always tell people, I get on the red line at Argyle, get off at Addison, and I bring up Game Time on my walk to Murphy's for Friday 120 Club. And once we get closer to the game, I continue to follow it. And usually I get the best price for my ticket right around first pitch.
Yeah.
And that's how you get the most value using Game Time, because you're always going to get the best value on a ticket right before first pitch. So that's how I do it. Some of the features they have, all right? I just mentioned the last minute deals where you can save up to 60% off buying on some of these tickets, whether it's sports, comedy, theater, or more, right? They have zone deals where you save even more when you choose a section and let Game Time choose the seats. They have all-in pricing. Toggling that feature shows the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. No one likes a bait and switch, right?
No.
All right, and then
not me.
Yeah, I don't either, right? They have seat views where you get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. There's poles at Wrigley Field. You don't want to sit behind a pole. All right, so that's very helpful. And they have the lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry with Game Time ticket coverage. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem with code CHGO for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Do we have another super chat, or did I missee things?
We have you are seeing things. Mad Mike. We have 10 super chats today. We have read them all. And if we haven't,
wow, thank you. Well, you saw a stat out there on PCA.
Yeah, did you see that?
Go ahead and read it for us.
I'll pull it up again.
This is unbelievable. He's making history again.
So, Pete Crow-Armstrong so far this year for the Cubs: 5 homers, 10 stolen bases, 15 extra base hits. The first player in the history of Major League Baseball to reach those marks before the end of the month of April.
All of them.
There's 6 more games in April, excuse me. Not the youngest player in MLB history to do it. The first player in Major League history to do that. 5 homers, 10 steals, 15 extra base hits.
Yeah,
in a month?
I saw Marquis put up after the game.
Yeah.
Age 23 or younger home runs in a Cubs uniform, and it was Rizzo with 8 and Corey Patterson and
Cubs legend
PCA with 5. So he's opening a lot of eyes early in the season. He had the hot finish last year, and the question we had in the offseason was, how much value do you put in those last couple months of the season where it looked like the light switch went on?
Mm-hmm.
Was it because there was lesser pitching late in the season, or did it really turn on for him? And now it's starting to look like it really turned on for him. One guy who didn't believe in him was Greg Braggs, the super chat from Toyota, and Greg Braggs in the stands. Do you have the signs, Cody?
Yeah, I got to the office today, and there's like 5 extend Kyle Tucker signs here.
Braggs has bwant busy. He's been making signs.
I texted.
Now he's gonna put extend PCA. Where are the extend PCA signs?
You want to hold one, Luke? He brought
sure. I'll hold one up. Tucker wasn't the story tonight,
right? But
please extend Kyle Tucker.
There you go.
Please. We're begging for it.
And for those who don't see, there's about 5 other extend Kyle Tucker signs in the desk over there.
There you go. Here we just, we'll just do this. There you go.
and for Braggs, what I've been saying for Braggs is, please draft Mason Graham is what I say.
Okay.
That's what I say. I like the kid from Michigan. If he's there.
Good. He's a good player.
If he was there.
I texted Braggs last night and was like, hey, you going to be at the office tomorrow? I need the signs. And for Friday, because he isn't going because of the draft.
There's a problem, though.
And he didn't even text me. He didn't text me back. So I show up to work today and
you rode the bike.
Yeah, and I rode the bike. So
how are you going to carry those signs if you got the bike?
I'm going to have to come back here tomorrow in my car. That's what I'm going to do. So.
Oh, boy.
Can't wait.
Oh, boy.
Thank you, Braggs.
Hey, PCA's on fire. Cade Horton, though, has been pitching well, right, Kevin? So there's – listen, I'm not rushing him here. I still think when he gets here, he's going to be a member of that bullpen. That's where I think Horton – because you don't want to just throw tons of innings at him. Mm-hmm. He's had some injuries. Tommy Birch tweeted, Cade Horton's day is done after reaching 76 pitches. So, I mean, that's more starting pitcher. 4 2/3, 2 hits, 0 runs, 1 walk, 5 Ks. Horton retired the last 8 batters he faced, topped out at 98. 12 whiffs.
That's the stat. 12 whiffs.
12 whiffs, and the ERA down to basically 1. Listen, that's the type of thing that makes you say, okay, the next time there's a spot starting, you need a guy, maybe he comes up and gets that shot.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I wouldn't rule out the fact that they could use him as a weapon in the bullpen, too.
I do think it's going to be a mixture of bullpen and starter. I would be surprised if it's just as a starter.
Well, and Assad, who left I saw Barb saying maybe he's going to be back soon. He was in town for more testing because yesterday, if you weren't listening to the show, in his AAA start at Iowa, things were going along, and then he stopped and had to leave, pain in his side.
Yeah. He's in the dugout today.
So he's back. He's in the dugout today, back for more testing.
Yeah.
But it was good to have the ass man back.
Yeah, and
just for vibes.
Vibes, but also I think we're missing what Assad brings to the team, which is just a versatile arm. Mm-hmm. And Colin Ray has really filled in that role nicely, no doubt. But now you're using Ray as a starter, and so far it's been fine. But as the season goes along, I personally don't want Colin Ray making a start every 5th day. So.
Look at Braggs, the man that I pick up. I tried to. He destroyed 2 of his knees. I watched him fall like an angel from the sky down that escalator, and I ran over there with frozen pretzels and tried to get him on his wounded knees in sort of a triage, if you will. And he has the audacity to say that he believed in PCA and that I didn't. Now, we all know that is a lie.
That's definitely a lie.
That is a lie.
Braggs called me one night and was like, yo, is PCA going to figure this out? These Sox fan friends of mine won't leave me alone about it. And I'm like, dude, you just got to wait it out a little bit longer. And then he took off in August.
He also said you texted him at 2 a.m. That's why he didn't get back to you.
I might have texted him at 2 a.m., but I was like, probably thinking more so of like maybe looking forward to hearing back from him at 9 a.m. or something like that, but nothing. Crickets.
No, Bragg said I didn't push him. I pulled him out of the heap of wreckage. Corey and I were there. I dragged him from the wreckage, and I triaged him with frozen jumbo pretzels that were left from Wrigley North. I just opened up a freezer and started putting frozen pretzels on his knee.
Yeah.
Probably saved his life.
I like Michael's comment, save Horton for playoff innings. That a lot of people who are saying that, a lot of people have asked me in like my TikTok lives or just on Twitter, and a lot of people asking here. Like I kind of think the longer they wait on Horton, the better. That I do. Just because I think I think
okay
he's
with that.
on
It's not a rush.
Yeah,
Right.
like if he wasn't on an innings limit, like I think he is, then let him eat.
Right, yeah.
You got a 1 ERA at AAA, let him eat. But I don't know how I would guess maybe 100 to 120 innings is probably his max this year because he had the injury last year. He didn't even pitch 50 innings last year, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
So
He's had,
it's one of those things that the longer they're able to wait without him is actually going to be more beneficial for them down the road, I think. I hope.
The bigger the lead that you can push in the division,
yes,
That's true
gives
too.
you more room to kind of
flexibility,
mess around.
flexibility.
Yeah, I mean, if you need a spot start, bring them up for a cup of coffee. That's why they have a bunch of options. You keep beating teams like the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Your strength of your schedule's done. You might face some opponents a little bit easier this year, and bring them up. And I don't know when he'll be brought up, but I tend to agree with you, Cody. I think later on in the year, save the innings, save the arm. But he's certainly pushing the envelope right now. He's been looking sharp.
Yeah.
Which
is fun.
Yeah, the Friday 120 Club back in action with these signs this Friday as the Phillies come to town. Third Friday 120.
Yeah, we're 2-0.
I don't know how you're going to top the last Friday 120 against
Yeah.
Arizona, one of the greatest regular season games of all
Amazing
time in
game.
Cubs history. But here come the Brewers and Schwarbs. By the way,
You said the Brewers,
I'm sorry, the
Phillies.
Phillies and Schwarbs.
who I think just got swept by the
They
Mets.
just got swept by the Mets. They're one game over 500, and they are already 5 games behind the Mets.
Wow.
That's a tough division to be in.
Yeah, tough division.
I don't see any way. I can't believe that division. I don't see any way the Braves climb out of that.
Yeah, they're 6 or 7 back right now.
The start that they got off to,
Yeah.
they've got a lot of talent, but that is a hole to dig out of.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
not willing to say it's over until Ronald Acuna comes back, and then it's over. However, a lot of this off the field stuff lately related to Ronald Acuna and the Braves. Have you heard
No.
seen any of that? Because related to him being on social media, you can go read. I don't want to explain it all, but I was listening to the Baseball is Dead podcast today with Jared, the show Jared Carrabba's hosts, and they were talking about it. The broadcast totally called out Ronald Acuna.
Really?
Because of some tweets that he sent and everything. Yeah, it's kind of it's became like a national story because of
Interesting.
basically something that's being handled by their manager related to some form of how to play the game type stuff.
Well, if he comes into town and he is out at casino or something late at night, Cody's going to tweet it out.
Well, if my guy at the casino knows and
That's
tells
right.
me, I
We
probably
gotta
will.
report-
I probably
Gotta
will
let
tweet
people
it.
know about that. You have Colin Ray, you have Ben Brown, and you have Jamison Tyone against the Phillies. So you know what? Just go get 2 out of 3. Keep winning series.
I mean, you just won 2. You just won 2 straight against the Dodgers. You won the series against the Diamondbacks on this homestand. You look at the Phillies, you look at the lineup, you see Schwartz, you see Harper, you see Trey Turner, you see Castellanos, who seems to have a little bit of a resurgence, at least last I checked his numbers. And you see their starting rotation, that's elite. And I think in the past, a lot of us were like, yeah, we're screwed. But at this point, here we are on April 23rd. It will be 24th when people are listening to this tomorrow. And I'm like, after everything I've already seen and playing through this tough schedule, I don't even really care. Let's just you control what you can control, which is just play your brand of baseball, which right now is scoring a ton of runs and getting solid starting pitching, and then we're working on the bullpen. But the bullpen, I would say 3 out of the last 4 games has been fine. Bullpen was awesome tonight.
Let me ask you guys this. What is your favorite part of the 16-10 start for your Chicago Cubs? I don't know how they're going to top the first 2 series of this homestand, right? Like, you had an incredible series against the Diamondbacks with wild games. You had wild 1-run games against the Dodgers. Now the Phillies come to town. What's your favorite part of the 16-10 start?
Man,
I would say Before today, I would have just said that Kyle Tucker is Kyle Tucker.
Yeah.
And
Can I just say Kyle Tucker?
that is still true.
Yeah.
But after tonight, I have to say that PCA is PCA.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I feel because he's so young, and we know he is part of the future.
Yeah, we know.
Listen,
we know that. Yeah.
Tucker's the best player on the team, but PCA might be the second best.
Well, they're rivaling each other right now in terms of most valuable players in the league right now in terms of WAR.
Yeah, they're like top 5 or 6.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of the 16-10 start?
Are we going by moment? Or
and it can be anything. It can be a player. It can be for you. It might have been last night's game. Maybe it was Friday's experience.
Yeah, when Tucker hit the homer on Friday against the Diamondbacks, Braggs witnessed me have an out-of-body experience and almost fall off the bleachers too. So,
thank goodness that didn't happen.
It was close. He slipped. I was right behind him.
It's part of the video that's out there.
Yeah. It was all right.
That was a moment that I'm never gonna forget when he hit that homer. So that would be my favorite moment of the season. As far as my favorite development of the season, I gotta go with you in terms of what we've seen from PCA. But to be different, maybe Michael Busch too. Michael Busch had a nice game tonight. We barely even talked about him. Kevin, we were sitting over by the TV earlier, and he said something along the lines of like him being one of the most underrated players on the team or in the league because no one talks about him. Yeah. And Busch had a nice game tonight too. So, and I was looking at his numbers the other day. He ranks in the top 5 in a lot of offensive categories among first basemen in baseball, not just National League, baseball. So, you're getting top 5 play at first base from a young guy that you questioned. Even I had a little questions, just like worry of like, is he going to be the same? Is he going to regress or is he going to get better? And so far I think we're getting better from both him and PCA. So those are probably my top 2 developments.
I don't know what the 3 stars are. I see Wrigley Man said something about Carson Kelly earning his contract in April. I mean, you could just say the Cubs catchers, or you could just say, if you want to include PCA with the catchers and Amaya, the bottom half of the lineup.
Yeah.
That has really been what's been eye-opening so far in these first, 26 games or whatever it is.
Yeah, mine is winning 1-run games. And you know why they're doing that? Because the lineup is consistent. Your best 4 hitters are hitting 1 through 4. I know Justin Turner was in there today with the late scratch, but because they're winning 1-run games, it's obvious and can be traced right back to Counsell knowing this roster and building it the way he wanted to in the offseason. Having guys who can come and steal bases, winning games on the margins, the trigger point for all of our Cub fans out there. But that's what they're doing right now. They're getting guys on base. They're situationally hitting the ball. I know I just said like 5 things, but the 1-run wins are coming because Counsell's managing really well in these moments. And they're getting on base a lot.
And they're scoring 7 runs a game.
Yeah, it helps when you score runs.
And they're manufacturing. They're manufacturing a lot of those runs, though. They're getting into
stolen bases,
with
base
steals.
hits.
Yeah.
So
Nico got a run in with a sac fly.
Yep. Dansby with the big hit with 1 out after they walked the bases loaded.
This Cubs team would probably be at 500 or 1 or 2 games below if this was last year's team without Kyle Tucker, because he has been a huge difference too in the offensive production and giving you 1-run games. What did we read on Sunday? They had already played half the amount of 1-run games that they played.
It was 8-4, wasn't it?
Yeah,
they had 8 last year.
On Sunday when we mentioned that, Sean had counted up 4 1-run games for this year at that point, and 8 last season.
Now there's been 6. I mean, but that's a development. That's a pretty big development.
It's just nice to win some of the 1-run games, right? And you didn't even like luck into it either. Like Porter Hodge went out there and shoved it in the 9th inning, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know everyone's gonna have their skepticism, but they're doing it against some really good teams. The hardest schedule in baseball to start the year.
Feels good. It feels good. I don't want to get too excited too early.
Yeah, I know. I'm not making any declarations yet.
I'm leaving the spray there, but it feels good. It feels like the Cubs are real.
One more thing. You mentioned Justin Turner. I don't think we mentioned this, but on the broadcast, they said he's the oldest Cub to steal a base since Greg Maddux.
Greg Maddux.
How about that?
And what did they say? Was it 2000?
It's probably 2005.
The last 40-year-old Cubs player to steal a base was Greg Maddux. Yeah, whatever his last year was with the Cubs. 06, I think?
05.
I think it was 2006, yeah.
Fun fact, that was my first Cubs game, a Greg Maddux start in 2006.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
One of his last outings, against the Mets.
Barb asked
Cliff
if
Floyd
I
on
got to
that
watch
team.
WrestleMania. I did watch WrestleMania. I did. Thank you, Barb. Thanks for asking. Anyway.
Cubs win 7-6. They take the season series against the Dodgers 4-3. They take the series here, 2 games at Wrigley. And now here come the Phillies. They hope to keep it rolling. 16-10, sitting in first place. Thanks to everybody that watched here live on the CHGO Cubs YouTube channel. Thanks to a great chat tonight. The chat was flying by. Lots of super chats. We appreciate those as well.
14 of them.
14 of them. Hope to see you in Milwaukee. Don't forget those tickets. Saturday, May 3rd.
Corey and Brendan tomorrow.
Corey and Brendan tomorrow. Friday 120 Club on Friday.
Yep. And we'll be back Sunday.
Be back Sunday live. Until then, thanks for watching the CHGO Cubs podcast presented by Toyota and Bet365. Cubs win. Fly the W.
We all silly like the mayor.